last video, but wanted to do an update on the Cadillac, bring you up to date. All the things that I've done to this stock piece here. I got most of the common bolt-ons, the downpipe, the throttle body, Mishimoto intake tube with a drop-in K&N filter. And when I did the downpipe install, I decided to keep the stock O2 sensors, and for a while it was doing just fine, and then eventually I started to get the check engine light, and then when that happened, the car started to act a little funny. I got a couple of codes that I ended up clearing, but I'll tell you what though, ever since after I installed the new I bought new O2 sensors, installed them. After I installed them, the car ran so much better. It just keeps running better every time I do something new to it. And I was told by a mechanic that it just measures the temperature. It's probably one of the things that it does, but I've also researched it and found that it also changes the air-fuel ratio. So ever since I put that on, the car, it feels like it runs brand new. Before I did anything to it, the car was kind of running sluggish, and sometimes the boost, I'd have boost problems. Like sometimes there would be no boost at all, no matter what time of day it is. And I'm wondering if I had something, because when I took the O2 sensors out, that sucker was dirty. I mean, that sucker was burnt to shit. So anyway, I was wondering if I were to change the O2 sensors before I even did the downpipe. I mean, way back then, if the car would have ran a little better. Because now, I used to say that the sport mode on these ATSs really don't do anything, which was a fact for my case when I got this car. Switching it to sport mode, I really didn't feel a difference. Now, when I rented other Cadillacs, other SUVs, like the XT4 and the XT5, the sport modes on those SUVs were actually pretty noticeable. Now, fast forward today, after replacing my O2 sensor, both O2 sensors, sensor 1 and sensor 2, after changing both of them, I actually noticed a difference in my sport mode. I actually can feel the sport mode. I can feel the difference now. And so, yeah, I wonder if that had something to do with it. So yeah, recap. All I had done was a downpipe, larger throttle body, Mishimoto intake tube with a drop-in K&N filter. And yeah, pretty much it. Stock tune. I got rid of the Diablo Sport tune because I don't have a custom tune. That tune was for stock only. Oh my god! I remember the first morning I noticed the difference in sport mode was I was leaving the donut joint, and had to go onto a road that was a 45-mile-an-hour road, and there was traffic coming. So as I was getting onto the road, I knew I had to hit the gas. The gas is more sensitive now, so I didn't hit it. I didn't accelerate that hard, but the car jumped on first gear. I mean, it just went whoop, and it went into second gear, and I'm like, whoa. Side of town here. Yeah, this beautiful place. Woo. Yeah, I plan on keeping the car stock. Plan on keeping the exhaust stock. the Brembo brakes there. As you can see, I messed up on the paint there. It's all right. I did a little red accent right over here. And I did the front lip right there. And the freeway made it up right about there, but it's all right. Well, whatever. That thing is rubber. It's fine. Yeah, I plan on keeping the exhaust stock right there. Those are just slip-ons. I plan on keeping the stock. What I would like to do though, because I want to keep it quiet, so what I would like to do is get a quad exhaust outlet. I'm going to change the bumper to the ATS V bumper, but yeah, those red accents look pretty good though. Looks pretty good next to those rusted brake calipers. But yeah, I think for the most part it looks good. I need a side skirt. The ATS V spoiler right there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. But yeah, this is 7 a.m. here in Las Vegas. Well, as you can see right there, it took a hell of a drive cycle though. It took a while. It took like, what, 2.5, 3 weeks to clear. Because I just installed the new O2 sensors that I was talking about. And yeah, I'm still using this because you know, the Bluetooth, it works fine and everything. However, because of Bluetooth, there's a bit of a lag. So if you're watching a movie on your phone and you're using the Bluetooth, there's a little lag when they're talking. It's kind of annoying. So I got to use the headphone jack. Actually, it's for the ATS, it's like right inside there, the little storage compartment. So yeah, I keep this thing on. It's just a OBD2 gauge. That's a cheap version, eBay. I don't have the fancy AEM one. I'd like to get the AFR, the wideband gauge. This is what the sun will do, the brutal sun in Las Vegas. That's what it'll do to the interior of your car. Because, you know, GM, you know, sure, this is a Cadillac, but because it's GM, they use, I hear they use a lot of cheap parts, and there's your proof right there. Cracked. And this thing is, then I noticed this thing was, yeah, it's pretty much double taped on, this whole thing. It's even cracked right here too. It's bullshit, you know. So yeah, cheap leathers. You know, this leather, it friggin' stinks too. It looks good, the red interior and everything, but man, this thing could stink. If you don't drive the car for a couple days and you keep the windows rolled up, then when you get into the car, it'll smell like horse shit in here. GoPro, start recording. I also changed out all 4 coils. There's also a styrofoam insert. You can see you can't really see it, but there's a little breathing tube that comes out of this airbox, and it stops about right here. Yeah, you could probably see it right there. That's the breathing tube. And then there was a little styrofoam insert inside there, which I'll show you. Yeah, there was a starter part. I just took that out. I think that acts more as a water guard or splash guard, but you know what? It doesn't really make a big difference. I took that out. It doesn't really make a big difference. I took it out for the hell of it, just for my sake, just for thought's sake. After a long drive, because I do a lot of freeway driving to go to work and home, to go to work and back, that by the time I get home, before the downpipe, it'll usually be at 197, 198, and you know, I'll just let the car run for a minute or two and I'll shut it off. But ever since after the downpipe, I noticed there was it would be hovering at about 205, you know, and then it would heat soak all the way up to like 215. And you don't know, I don't know what the proper numbers should be or what temperature you should shut it off at, or what's dangerous. But I do know that oil temperature, and correct me if I'm wrong, but oil temperature should be no more than 260 degrees, and the coolant shouldn't go any higher than 220 degrees, which it never has. Yeah, so the temperatures have been pretty hot, but I think it's because of the bottleneck. Yeah, you know, I really plan on getting a quad exhaust outlet on that. If you haven't noticed, in my last video I mentioned why I put foil here. I know I should have got one of these right here and just wrapped it around, but for the meantime I just put foil because I've had to replace this vacuum line twice already. I've had to replace it twice already, and it cracks in this area right here where it comes into contact with the engine. And of course, this is the hot side, this is the turbo side. That thing get really hot, it'll crack easily. So I'm sick and tired of replacing that thing, because it is not easy getting it out where it connects to the turbo right there. Even though you have that little tool to take it out, it's still a pain in the ass. And I'm tired of this thing cracking on me. Again, we're talking about GM parts. So yeah, this is the second one, or the second one. It cracks right there, usually like right here, right at the bottom of it is where it cracks. And this is coming into contact with the coil, and the coil can get really hot, as you know, so I put a little cover right there too. You should know, if you're getting a Mishimoto, if you're getting the full Mishimoto catch can kit like I have, the CCP, or the CCV and PCV side, you should know that if you remember seeing the ones with the colors, you can get the blue, you can get the red. That is their first generation model. That's their first generation brand, in which they discontinued. I originally had the red ones, as you can see in my one of my older videos of me installing the red one. Mishimoto actually contacted me and offered to give me the updated kit, which is this, with more high quality rubber tubes for like half the price. So I went for it, and they gave me the entire kit. These are also new from the original installation, so I used the newer ones as well. I still have the whole kit in my garage, the old one. The only thing that I kept were the brackets. So, and they work just fine too. If you have the red or the blue, or you know, whatever their first generation style of the Mishimoto catch cans for the ATS, you might, they're saying that the complaint was it would have a nasty smell under the hood, probably because of the rubber melting, and that it would fail over time is what they, I wish I could show you the email. I'm not sure if I gotta look for that email. Maybe I'll post it if I see it. Maybe I'll post it on the video if I see it. But yeah, basically the cheaper version rubber tubes that they have with silicone is what they use. It would melt. Sure, it looks good though. I think it's a lot thicker too than this. I believe it was a little thicker. Another thing too, what I usually do when after a long freeway drive, when I get home, when I'm letting it sit idle for like another like 5 minutes or so, I'll also turn on the AC, because the AC will turn the fan on, just like what you see right there. I didn't turn the AC on, but that's just the kicking on, probably because, let me see what temperature it is. So it's 203. Just went up to 204. It just kicked on. You know, I'm not driving, I'm sitting idle, so the car probably doesn't like it. I see the oil temperature is at 251. So I guess I gotta get moving. Let's see. This radiator is new. That's been replaced because the original one failed. And I knew it failed because there was transmission oil that was being mixed into the coolant. Because if you didn't know, the transmission oil shares the same radiator. So if it fails, the wall will break down and it'll start to mix in with the coolant fluid. So this is also new as well, because it was all gunked up with that peanut butter stuff. I'm gonna go and get moving because the car is getting kind of warm. Yep. Up. Up. Alright folks, I'm gonna get moving. Yeah, look what that fan did. It dropped it down to 199. You know, if you don't know what some pilots do, because you know, some small planes use turbo as well, have turbo engines as well, is after a flight, once they touch down, once they park it, they actually rev it to 900 or 9,000 RPM. Rev it to 9,000 RPM for about 5 minutes or so to cool the engine down, so that it won't get less of a heat soak. So what I also do sometimes too, and when I get to work early, I'll park it somewhere, and I'll rev it to, I don't know what's a good rev, but I chose to do like 1,000, and I'll do that for a while, and I'll also turn on my AC to get that fan running. And we're at 203 right now, right? So let's do that. I gotta keep it steady. 1,000, 115, 1,500. So let's keep it there. You already see it going down. 201. What that is doing is also running the water pump. And there you go. I gotta keep it. It's hard to keep it steady because I'm wearing slippers. So we got the AC running, so the fan is on, and we got the coolant running, flowing. There we go, 195. 194. But that's about as low as it'll go with a temperature like this. Oh, 192. Guess I was wrong. If you guys have your own advices about how you take care of your ATS, please let me know. Drop a comment down below, and I'll definitely take that into consideration. Other than that, I'll go ahead and go home. Turn off the AC. GoPro, start recording. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.